Hello everyone and welcome to my newest video on how to export only the most unfavorable combinations from SCIA to IDEA StatiCa. For today's video I have already prepared a structure where I have introduced all the necessary load cases. So if we go through the load cases, let's preview them. We have the additional permanent loads. We also have a load case about the variable loads. We have two load cases from snow. Also, we have two load cases from temperature, and we have the wind in 4 directions. So we run the automatic combinations according to the Eurocode, and if I go to loads and then choose combinations, you can see that we have two combinations in here. So we have the ultimate limit state combinations and also the serviceability limit state combinations. But this is not just a single combination. This is actually a set or maybe a group of combinations that are created automatically by the software from all of these load cases with their appropriate security coefficients. So now if I try to explode this to linear, you can see that in example into the ultimate limit state set B set of combinations, there are hidden 723 combinations. Meaning that if you want to export a node with all of its combinations, then it will take like a lot of time to export it firstly in IDEA StatiCa, but secondly also it will take a lot of time to calculate all this number of combinations. And of course this is not a very reasonable thing to do. So in order to avoid this, I will show you in today's video how to target only the necessary combinations and to export only those in IDEA StatiCa. So let's close this, and I will first isolate the mid frame because I will work with the connections that are in the mid frame. You can see that I already entered the attributed the nodes that I will use. Let's imagine that all these beams have the same section and all these columns have the same sections, and we are going to do the same design for all these nodes. Then in that case we will have to check only the maximal combinations from these nodes. But now the question is which are the most unfavorable combination? So generally, but not always, these are the combinations that give the maximal internal forces. So the first step, I will turn off the volumes, is to go into results and see the internal forces for these nodes. I will click on 1D internal forces. I have already run the calculation, so I have some results. I will change the type of loading to combinations, and from combinations, of course, we will use the ultimate limit state set B. Now I will only filter these beams so I don't see too much on the screen. So under type selection, I will select only current. And let's work with the bending moments in epsilon direction first, so I will open values for m epsilon. So let's refresh and see the results. Okay, so you can see that now we have the diagrams for m epsilon for all these beams, and we can see that the maximal value is obtained into this node. It's 347.20 kilonewtons per meter. But now the question is from which combination this value is coming from. In order to see that, first thing is to go to report preview, and we will get the table with all the values from the screen. I will zoom in a bit, so I will change the zoom. And now we're looking for 347 from m epsilon into the table. Then we go to the case, and we can see that this is coming from case 1. Be careful, this is an internal numbering by SCIA, so it doesn't mean anything else, but it only refers to what we are seeing currently. So this is only valid for the current situation. So let's remember this one, and I will close this. And next we will go to new combination from combination key over here. And now we have the list of all the combinations that were previously given into report preview. So I will check only combination 1. I will write new name, let's say combination 1. And I will leave it as linear combination. And then I will click OK. So we can see that in here it says successfully added 1, meaning that we exploded one linear combination. Okay. So let's go into the combination, and let's go down below. You can see that we have here combination 1. I will zoom out a bit, and if I click on refresh, now we are seeing the diagrams only for combination 1. Okay, so we are finished with one combination. Let's do the same. Let's go first back to the ultimate limit state combinations and do the same for the extreme value of the axial forces. So I will choose diagrams for axial forces and then refresh. Let's zoom a bit, and again we can see that the maximal tension force in this beam is obtained into this node. So I will work again with, I want to find this combination that gives the maximal tension force into these beams. Let's zoom out, and I will go again into the report preview and search to the table where this value is, from which case is coming from. So this is coming from set 2, from case 2. Okay, let's memorize the number. I will close this, and again I go to new combinations from combination key, but this time I will check number 2. I will write a name, combination 2, and click OK. And we see that we successfully added another combination. Okay. So now we have both of the combinations in here. If I choose this one and refresh, we can see the diagrams for only from this combination. But now the question is how to export just these two into IDEA StatiCa. The best way is to create a class out of these two, and that way we can export the class to IDEA StatiCa. So let's go to loads, and we will go to result classes. There are already some pre-existing classes, but we will create a new class. I will delete everything just because there is some existing content by default, so let's delete everything. And I will write a name, let's say class beam. I will add as content only these two combinations, and then I will click OK, and I will close this. So we're finished with everything. All that is left is to do is the export to IDEA StatiCa. I will close this, I will deselect, and now into the search bar I will write IDEA, and we have two options for IDEA StatiCa. The first one is connection checks, which we will use, and the second one is the joint input, but you can see I already have the attributes finished. So let's go to the connection check, and the first step is to select which type of load we need, so I will select classes. Next is to choose which class, so I will select our class that we created, and then I click on export to IDEA StatiCa connection, and then I just click on the node that I want to export. So we're finished with this. We will have to wait a bit, but since it's only two combinations, shouldn't take a long time to export to IDEA StatiCa. And okay, so we have the design already exported to IDEA StatiCa. You can see that our sections are exported with their cross sections, and under load effects we can find our two combinations. Now if you click on the combinations, just because we directly exported from SCIA to IDEA, then we can see here a description where it tells us which load cases and which security coefficients are taken into this particular combination. And this is for the other combination. And this is all that I have prepared for today's video. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.